observation versus participation. And I thought, this is it. This is it. Individuals that like to sit around and talk about stuff are observers. Individuals that are doing the stuff are participators. I don't know if it's the Western education or how the information's brought from religion or what, but somewhere along the line, we think that when we are sitting in this type of setting and we're taking the best notes in the world and bouncing the ball even back and forth, that we're actually participating in something. And the reality is that there is no energy that moves forward from observation. Observation is simply just identifying these things that are being taught or told, whatever. Until you move it into participation, where you can see it, because it's undeniable in your life, your conversation is irrelevant. I'm not saying conversation, observation is bad. Observation can be good. But for some reason, in recovery and restoration and religion and education, whatever, I mean, we just got a bunch of mental masturbators sitting around observing a bunch of information. And it's not showing any fruit. So there's no way you can know who you are when you're, well, you might think you know, but everyone else will know that you don't know. Talking about it, not doing it. It's the Joe W. 3 frogs sitting on a log. To make a decision to jump off, how many frogs are sitting on a log? There's a bunch of people that know a whole bunch of stuff. But you've got to go from this place of sitting at this table or listening to rabbi or work or whatever. You have got to go from being able to sit around and talk about it to actually living it out in the moment. When you get that tap on your shoulder and it says, this would be the time that you authentically communicate this way or live out this way or do this way. And you can deny it all day long, but oh, he was sleeping, or oh, this was going on, or oh, that was going on. You're just killing yourself. So I don't know if any of that made sense, but it was on the top of my mind. So I hope that gave you enough time to think about where you were.
So yeah, yesterday stemmed from Sunday, got off of work, do what I do, go in the office, and just shared where I'm at in the current moment that I'm at, and was talking basically about, so it stemmed from the phone conversation. I had come in here and I realized I was hoping a lot of things to happen the whole time. I had said out loud, hey, this is what's up with Michael. I'm going to go out there and talk to him real quick. Hoping that others would follow, because that was the blessing. The conversation itself, that in itself was the blessing. So Will came out. It took him probably 5-10 minutes to actually come out. Had the conversation. Then Dave came out afterwards. Got on, tried to explain to Dave, like, why do you withhold it from yourself? The blessing from yourself. Then we're having that conversation. I had said out loud, now I'm going to go talk to Mark, because my plan was, or at least what I was realizing my responsibility was go talk to Dave and Mark, not in a you're in trouble way, in a, hey, why are you not trying to, do you not see this? And in saying that, Will was there, and I said it a few times, hoping Will would receive it, and Will would talk to Mark, and none of that happened. So I just got in my head about it, which is my old fear. If I go and do what I know, there's a reason I see it. There's a reason it was given to me that I see it. If I go and do it, Will will be mad at me or whatever, and I would be uncomfortable to live here. Blah 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 blah. These old stories I tell myself. So when in talking with Jason, Will came in the office, and I asked him, "Did you talk to Mark?" And no, and then blah 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 blah. Jason flipped it around, and he was talking to me, and I just, in the rehashing of what was going on the day before, I just came to the realization, like, my responsibility in that moment wouldn't have been to tell Will specifically, go do this, to have sat with Will and said, hey, Will, do you understand your responsibilities in this moment? Which has a much different energy than go do this because I saw it and you need to do it.
Has a much different energy than hoping too, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. You were talking about hope, and I just went down a whole rabbit trail. The root of anger is hope.
Oh yeah. It's the unrealistic expectation.
You get angry because you spent this whole time hoping for something to happen. It doesn't happen. Anger. Who are you angry? Who are you really angry at? Yourself, because you set yourself up for something to go down. Didn't go down the way you thought it would. You hoped it would. Because it was just.
And then you mask it. The story is angry at everyone else because how
Yeah.
can they not see this? Why aren't they doing this?
Yeah.
Oh, and so that's the person that runs around reality, pissed off at the world, when the energy, the change, everything is here. It's not out there.
And then you talking about how Bennett, like, how I see it currently is that it's nothing but those types of decisions when you're in the right position, accepted position. But that one decision changed the universe.
Yeah.
Like literally. So every decision in every moment literally changes the course of everything. So I was just like, if I would have had to, hey, Will, do you understand your responsibilities? Whatever happens after that is, we don't even need to talk about, but just what could have happened. What altered the whole dang universe. Or when I was in here saying, hey, I'm going to go talk to Michael. Okay, here's a silver plate of blessing. Would you like to engage in what we talk about all the time here? We talk about how awesome it is, and yet when it's here it is, we don't engage in it for whatever reason. But we talk about it. We talk about the observation of it.
As if we know it.
Yeah. But when the participating part comes up, something inside says, I gotta pee, or I gotta sleep, or...
And see, as a leader, it's like it's like you're teeing it up for them, but you don't tell them that you're teeing it up for them. And that is when it breaks down. That is the hope.
Yeah. I for whatever reason, the thought in my head, all the way back to very early time at the house, when I was first like houseman, I used to get pissed off all the time at the dishes.
All the time.
All the time, and you just hit me in the face like, either you do something about it or you don't get pissed about it no more. Because I was just hanging out and like, maybe one day everybody will contribute. And love contributing. And I just
Get
hung
to
out.
experience how great it is when they contribute.
Yeah. And I just hung out there instead of, all I was doing was observing my problem, which was strengthening my problem and creating a bigger one. And one of those days I got the brick to the face and I was, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Hey, can y'all help me? Surprise, surprise, you get help, everyone talks, and blessing. So, it's wild, dude.
You know, and it's like, it's denying ourselves, okay? So here's what it is that I don't want to blow too many, shatter too many beliefs tonight, so I'm going to try and use my language lightly. But, you know, this idea that whatever it is that we are searching for is not out there. This God is not out there, success is not out there, love is not out there, peace is not out there, nothing is out there. It's all in here. Okay, so that's the point of identifying the undeniables in your life. And so as you begin this process, you begin to see these truths for what they are. And as you continue to do that, you accept them, which means you identified it, you accept it. Another way to describe that would be you reconcile it. And so how do you reconcile something? Well, you see it for what it is, it's where you came from, and you forgive yourself for it, whatever it is, and then you move on. Now that reconcile part is over with, and you move closer and closer and closer to what? To the core of who you are. What is the core of who you are? The core of who you are is the image in which you were made by your Creator. So the closer you get to your core, the closer you get to your Creator. And so it's ironic is that we walk around trying is a good word in this moment anyway, to help people or to help ourselves by creating these opportunities, but in reality the power of it all is in here, and so there is no reason to hope for anything. When you know who you are, where you are, you know your origin, its origin, and the thoughts that turn into feelings, which turn into emotions, all stem from the source, the truth of all things. And so you simply are, or you simply are being restoration in all moments, or you simply are being happiness, joy, peace, serenity in all moments. You're simply being God, if you will, in all moments, creating everything in all moments because you have accepted it from your core. And so when I talk about activating the principles that are written into your DNA, that is the process to activate it. You've got to go this way, and as you go this way, you hit the button, which then brings it all this way. And so there is no hope in that, because we are filled with incredible ability, incredible power. We are filled with all things in which we seek. Everything. And the process is the revealing, the activating of these things in which we already know are true. Because as you go back and you experience these things, there's no reason to sit around. Michael doesn't need to sit around and talk about why he feels the way that he feels after 1 week of being here. Because he knows. The moment we begin to try to understand or figure out,
Explain.
we are removing ourselves from being a participator, and we are becoming an observer, and we are going in the opposite direction of which we want to go. Rather than just saying, wow, that's awesome, I accept that, give me some more. I mean, Jacob, again, somehow outdid himself tonight with the food. We didn't have to sit around and say, well, what was in that? Exactly how did you make that? Before we go back for seconds, did we? No, we just go back. We remember. It tasted really, really good. Why the heck do I need to know a bunch of junk about it? The emotion's already there. The feeling's already there. The action's already there. It's so funny how it's just self-revelation is all it is. So it's like you come in the office, but then you walk out. You come in the office thinking it's everyone else, and you walk out seeing that it's you. For Jacob, anyway.
And it's the juice. It's not like bad.
It's the juice.
It's not the ouch. It's not that. It's total opposite. It's it.
It is incredible. And the desire of Jacob or myself or anyone else that wants you to experience it sometimes can be communicated improperly because of our inability to see who we are, where we are in that particular moment. There is no, we've got to, there is never a time when I say, all right, today I've got this appointment in the morning with these business people, and I'm going to be this person, then I'm going to go to the house, and I'm going to be that person, then I'm going to go for a lunch with an old friend and be a different person, then I'm going to go home and be a different person. I'm always the same. It really helps you identify the areas in which you need to work on when you're always the same. When you're not trying to perform based on what you think people want you to be like. It's very freeing to just be, is it not, Michael? Whether it doesn't matter what the results are. Who cares? It's free. It's freeing. You don't have to worry. As long as you're being the authentic you, then that is climbing the tree. But when you're making conscious decisions to not be that person, it's like filling yourself up with cancer or something. Eventually it's going to take you over and bring you back to this place which brought most of us to this table by dealing with our feelings and emotions with substances. When I had that self-reflection today about Bennett's story, I was moved to the core, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Really not that I had anything to do with accomplishing anything, because it wasn't about me, but then just to see the power of me being who I'm supposed to be, and all it did was revive me and recharge me and allow me to see that nobody can tell me that I can't, because I am. And the fruit is undeniable. And so there's no fear. Fear is in details. Fear is bullshit. It's like the what if and the ifs and the buts and the candies and the nuts and everyone wishing for a Merry Christmas. That's where fear lies.